Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button and stay for a while. I upload 3 times a week. Get ready with me, shop my stash, trying on a makeup. If it's beauty or makeup related, I will be posting it. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell from the title of the video, this is part 2 for the blushes I have tried in 2024, and it's going to be powder blushes. I'm excited. I think there's like 15 or 16 blushes, so we need to get started like right now. All right, so there is 15 blushes that we are going to get through today. I am not going to be able to apply every single blush today, but I will do my best to get 4, 5, maybe even 6 of them on my face. Hair is pulled back. Let me tell you what else I have on my face. The Vive Complexion Balm, the Westman Atelier Concealer, the One Size Pink Powder for my under eyes, the Laura Mercier Loose Powder for the rest of my face, the original. For bronzers, cream, I went in to the Milani Cream Bronzer and the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. By the way, I always link exact shades down below, so when you click on the link, it will take you to the exact shade that I'm using. And then I have no blush. For powder bronzer, I went in to the Wayne Gauze Contour and Bronzer Duo in the shade medium. And that's all I have on for today. So let's get started because I do have 15 blushes to talk about. The first one is from Fenty Beauty. And this is the Fenty Cheeks Suede Powder Blush. Baking Cakes is the shade that I have. So this feels very silky soft when you swatch it. And this is a pretty tone, even though it's not what I thought I was going to get. I feel like it looked a tiny bit more, I don't know, it's not what I thought it was going to be. Anyways, the reason why this is ranking at very last is because I have to be very strategic at which brush I use, and I don't feel like the formula reflects on how it looks on your cheek. I hope that makes sense, because it's very soft. It feels silky smooth, but I don't feel that reflects when I apply it on my cheeks. So that's why it made it to the very last place. Let me be clear, all of these blush formulas are really pretty. It's very rarely that I find a dud when it comes to blushes. Just some formulas I prefer more than others. So if this is like your #1 favorite blush right now, do not take it to offense, okay? Okay, coming in at number 14 is from Chanel, and this was an earlier release. Gosh, I don't remember. It might have been at the beginning of the year. Anywho, this is the Roses Coquillage Duo Powder Blush Duo. I don't think it says a shade. I think when this collection came out, this is the only blush that came out with it. So this formula, if you can get it to not hard pan, it's actually a very blurring formula, but the reason why it's ranking at number 14 is 1, because the hard pan happens instantly, and 2, these tones are literally very sheer. You have to really build them up in order to even see them. Like, you see that? This is the one that has the hard pan. This is the salmon-y shade, and this is like the rosy pink. Yeah, so I enjoyed this. It just, the hard pan is absolutely insane. But it does leave your cheeks looking very blurring. The tones are nice. Yeah, see? Like, just, it hard pans, and it's a very super sheer formula. Some people love that. For me, it's a little bit too sheer for my liking and for how much it cost, you know? Okay, and for this next formula, it's the opposite. The NYX Buttermelt Blush. I have the shade Back and Butter. Total opposite for this one. It's just too pigmented, and it does not matter what shade you get, you have to tread softly. And as you could tell, I chose a very dark shade, so I have to tread super softly with this blush. I prefer to have to build up my blush than to have to tread softly, because you're at least using the product, you know? With this one, gosh, I will absolutely never, like, this blush will outlast me. That is how pigmented it is. And it doesn't matter what shade you pick, they are all like that. That is definitely the #1 complaint that I keep hearing about these blushes from NYX. And my dumb butt. Fenty blush came in at number 15. Chanel Duo in Roses Coquillage came in at number 14. And this NYX Buttermelt blush came in at number 13. It's just way too pigmented. I have to tread too softly. And yeah. Okay, coming in at number 12. Oh my gosh, it's all dirty. Is the Dolce & Gabbana Chick and Eyes Match 01 Blissful Mauve. So Dolce & Gabbana launched a makeup line this year. I believe they had it went away, and now it's back. One of the main reasons this is landing at this one is because I think after this, all of the other formulas are absolutely stunning, and this just happened to land at this one. It's a beautiful formula. It's really soft, very silky. It didn't wow me, you know? Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful formula, but I feel like I just enjoy the other ones that come before this a lot more. Maybe if I would have gotten a different tone, but it's a pretty one. It truly is. Maybe I should put, you know what? Let's apply this one. We'll use the TF3 and I'll put it up here. Yeah, it's a beautiful formula. Nothing wrong with it. I just preferred the ones that come higher than this on the list a tiny bit more. That's all. So coming in at number 12, the Dolce & Gabbana blush. Okay, coming in at number 11, and this was not, well, the one that I have, which is the MAC Glow Play blush in the shade Groovy. This is from the older MAC formulation. They did reformulate this and brought out, I don't know if it's the same shades or new ones as well. I don't have the newer formulation. I have the older formulation, but a lot of people love this blush, and I have heard great things about the new reformulation as well. The reason why this is landing where it is because I have to be strategic at which brush I use. As you could see, like, it's like a putty consistency, and it's very, very creamy. Maybe it's just the shade that I got, but I do have to, one, really build this up, and two, make sure I'm conscious about what brush I use. I've been enjoying the BK and 17 with this. It's one of the brushes that picks up the blush the best. But that's the only reason why this landed where it did. It's a beautiful formula. I'm very intrigued in trying out the new reformulated one. I have so much blush that I'm kind of thinking I should wait. Okay, so coming in at number 11, the MAC Putty Blush. Okay, coming in at number 10 is from Guerlain, and this is the Terracotta Blush. I have the shade 02 Deep Nude and 05 Deep Coral. The only reason these are landing where they are is because of how hardly pressed they are. So I do have to dig into the pan a tiny bit more than I wish I needed to, but this formula is actually beautiful. Leaves your cheeks looking blurred. It's just such a pretty, pretty formula. I just wish they weren't so hardly pressed. This is Deep Coral here. But they do build up nicely. Not hard to build up. They also smell like my grandma, so I really like that. Also, the formulas that come before this one, I just enjoy a tiny bit more. But when these first came out, oh my gosh, I could not stop using them because they're just so pretty. And I feel like all of the blush formulas in this video today are so pretty, just gorgeous. And I have too many blushes and I want to use them all. So coming in at number 10, the Guerlain Terracotta blushes. Okay, coming in at number 9, and I'm kind of cheating just a tiny bit because I also included this one for the bronzers I've tried in 2024 ranking, but that's because it's a trio. This is from Chanel. It's the Le Beige Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder in medium coral. So this has a highlighter, a bronzer, and a blush. And this blush in here is really, really pretty, and honestly, the only reason why this is placing where it is because I just enjoy the other blush formulas before this one a lot more. But as you could see, it's very pigmented, more than I guess your typical Chanel blush. It's a beautiful formula. It truly is, and I've used it on its own plenty of times to know that I do really enjoy this blush in this trio. Okay, and coming in at number 9 is the Chanel Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder. Okay, coming in at number 8 is from Dior, and this is part of the Backstage line. So this is the Rosy Glow, and I have the shade 063 Pink Lilac. It's one of the 2 new tones they came out with. No, I think it was 3. Frick, I don't remember. This is a beautiful formula. It actually builds up pretty nicely, slowly, but nicely. The swatch is crap. You see that? I might have, I'm using my thumb because, Jesus, okay. Let me wipe it because I think there's too much stuff on my finger and why it's swatching like that. Like it's already creating hard pan. I never had this issue before. Okay, I literally had to scratch it with a brow brush because if you touch this with your fingers, it's just going to leave a hard pan right away. Okay, there it is. See, not a good swatch at all, but it is a beautiful blush. It builds up very, very slowly as long as there's no hard pan. So I'm going to use this N17 from Nikki and BK. I'm just going to show you. Hopefully I can. There's a lot of product, so I am going to tap it out on the bottom, on the palm of my hand. And I'm going to apply this right here. See how like it's subtle, but you can definitely build it up. I thought it was going to look ashy on me because of the white, I guess, undertone, base, whatever you want to call it, but it actually does not, which is really nice. I don't know if that would be the case for anyone darker than me. It might look ashy on you, but do you see that? It's like a really pretty subtle blush that does slowly build up. So coming in at number 8, the Dior Rosy Glow blush in shade Pink Lilac. Okay, coming in at number 7 is from Natasha Denona. Now, my video, I believe, went up January 1st or January 2nd. And I typically, with new launches, film fairly quickly. So I'm still counting this because I don't think I included this for 2023. So this is going to go into the 2024 list, and it was like literally right at the beginning of the year. And it is the My Mini Dream Glow blush. This is an absolutely stunning blush. I don't know if you can tell, but I've definitely, like, there's a dent in there. I've used this quite a bit. It is just so pretty, and both of these tones look beautiful on my skin. I always mix them. I don't use them individually because the pans are so small, but it's just such a beautiful formula. The tones are absolutely stunning. I think she did a fabulous job with this blush. Does it suck that it's this small? Yes, but the formula in here definitely makes up for it. So coming in at number 7, the Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Blush Glow blush. Okay, coming in at number 6 is a blush that definitely impressed me. And it didn't make it higher on the list because, like I keep mentioning, all of these formulas are just absolutely stunning. And I mean stunning, that it was just hard to rank. I had a hard time, I'm not gonna lie. A lot more with this one than the cream and liquid. So it's from Kosas. This is the Blush is Life blush, and Dreamland is the tone that I have. I was not going to purchase a blush from this launch, but I did. I think I was in Texas, so I was able to feel the formula in the store. I think that's what happened. Well, anyways, it's a good thing that I was in Texas because this is an absolutely stunning blush. Oh my goodness, it did not disappoint at all. Okay, I'll go ahead and apply this blush. This is the Soft Cheek from Sonia G. Even though it does have a tiny bit of sheen, because you can see from the marbleization that you see in the pan, it's just so pretty. The glow is so nice and natural. It does not accentuate texture. It looks soft. It looks just so dreamy. I'm telling you, this blush really impressed me. Definitely a winner, and if you have not purchased this and it's on your list, definitely worth buying for the Sephora sale. Okay, so coming in at number 6 is the Kosas blush. Okay, and coming in at number 5 is from Cinch Beauty. This is the Evocative Silk Blush. I have this shade Persistent Persimmon, and it is absolutely stunning. This formula is a tiny bit unique. Even though we have seen similar formulas, I do feel like it's a tiny bit different than what I have tried in the past. It's really soft. The pigment is 100% there, and like I said, it does have, well, I think I said it, a tiny bit of sheen, but it's not ridiculous. It's just the perfect amount of sheen. I think she did a fabulous job with this formula, so much so that I honestly do want to purchase some more shades. I just haven't because I have so many blushes. It was a hard ranking, okay? I have tried so many amazing blushes in the past year, 2 years, that this ranking was difficult. But this landed at number 5, Cinch Beauty Evocative Silk Blush. All right, coming in at number 4, and we are almost done, is from Haus Labs. And this is the Color Fuse Blush in Fire Moon. So this was reformulated. I believe they took out the talc from the older formulation. It's beautiful. It's absolutely soft. The formula, when I touch it with my finger from this one, reminds me of the Cinch Beauty, but I think because I enjoy this tone a tiny bit more, it's just a tone that I would pick up a tiny bit more often than I would the orange one from Cinch Beauty. But the formula is very, very similar, and this one from Haus Labs impressed me so much when I first tried it. I never tried the original formula, but I also heard a lot of great things about that formula, and also heard a lot of great things about this one. So obviously they did something right, because both of them were absolutely stunning. I think I'm gonna pick up a tiny bit of this one. Let's put it on the nose. This is the Cinch F06. And it does leave like a blurring effect on your cheek when you wear this. No texture, no nothing. It just looks soft. I love that tone. So pretty. Okay, so coming in at number 4, the Haus Labs blush. Okay, coming in at number 3, and it's a fairly new launch, but I feel like the formula is what made it land where it did, and that is from Dior. This is the Color and Glow Blush and Highlighter Duo. Dior Rivera is the shade, and this formula, it's like a baked gelée formula, and yes, you do have to use a little bit more of a dense brush to get a good amount of payoff right off the bat. But when you do, it's so pretty. I'm gonna apply this on. It is just so pretty. My favorite brush with this blush is the MY5 from Danessa and My Kid Co. I'll go ahead and apply it on this side. And it does leave your skin looking blurred. It's just, the formula is gorgeous. Highlighter in there, not so much. But this blush formula, Perfection. Now I feel like the tone I got is a little bit on the light side. So if I would have gotten with maybe one shade up, I feel I wouldn't have to build it up as much, but it doesn't take too much to build it up. It's just, you just have to use a tiny bit more of a dense brush, that's all. But it's a beautiful formula, it truly is. I've really been enjoying it. And if it wasn't for that highlighter, I would probably use it a tiny bit more. But do you see how soft my cheek looks? See that? Oh, so pretty. Okay, so coming in at number 3, the Dior blush and highlighter duo. Okay, coming in at number 2 is from Chanel, and that is the Jardin Imaginaire blush and highlighter duo in light berry. The only reason this one landed a tiny bit higher than the Dior is because I've actually picked this one up a tiny bit more, because the highlighting formula in this is like so much better than the Dior duo. But if I had to pick which blush formula is a tiny bit better, I would say the Dior one just leaves the texture a tiny bit more softening. Just like I said, it gives you a very softening, blurring effect. I didn't even swatch the Dior. Oh my goodness. Let me swatch it real quick. Oh, I'm scared to touch these pans because they keep getting a hard pan on me. Okay, so this is the Dior. See how it looks pretty light on my skin, but as you could see, I could definitely build it more than I did. Okay, now let me swatch this Chanel. Yeah, see the formula in this Chanel duo, it's a tiny bit more on the dry side. Like you can tell once you put your finger in the pan that the Dior is that baked gelée formulation. It's still beautiful. The formula from Chanel, the duo, it's still beautiful. I feel like Dior did a tiny bit of a better job with the blush formula. My absolute favorite brush to use with this duo is from Sonia G, and it is the TF3. The fibers in this brush just pick it up so nicely, and I feel like with this brush, it leaves more of a blurring effect on the skin than when I use any other brush. I have used is it the Classic Cheek? This one, the Soft Cheek, but it just does not do the same thing that this one does. I'm gonna put it in my nose though, because I want to even out my cheeks with the one that's in first place. Yeah, so I've definitely enjoyed this Chanel duo so much more since I bought this brush. It works absolutely amazing with this formula from Chanel. And I love both the blush and the highlighter. They're just beautiful. Okay, so coming in at number 2 is the Chanel blush and highlighter duo in the shade Light and Berry. Okay, and now for the blush that came in at number 1 for blushes I have tried in 2024 so far is from Chanel. It's the cream to powder formulas. The Jouer Contrast Intense cream to powder blush. This is Rose Radiant. I did buy 2, and this is Rouge Franc. I think we're gonna use Rouge Franc today, which is the pretty tomato red. This formula is amazing. And it is truly a cream to powder formula. Now, when you swatch it with your finger on the pan, it feels like a powder, but once you swatch it onto your actual skin, then it feels like the cream to powder clay consistency. So this is the rose one. Yeah, it's just so soft. It's so flattering, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the formula. So pretty, and they smell like roses. They do not smell like that typical Chanel scent. But do you see how soft the swatches look? That's how soft they look on your cheeks. I'm gonna use the Rouge Franc today, and my absolute favorite brush for this blush is, again, the TF3 from Sonia G. I did wipe this down. I have seen people use their fingers to apply this. I don't enjoy applying makeup with my fingers. When I have kids, And most of the time when I do use my fingers, I end up with some sort of blemish. And two, I don't know, I've never been in applying makeup with your fingers kind of girly. I will do it from time to time with like certain formulations, but with this one, I can 100% make it work with this brush. So why am I even going to use my finger, you know? So let me show you just how beautiful this is. And I love that it smells like roses instead of the traditional Chanel scent. So you can definitely see that I have pigment. So I'm just gonna even out my cheeks. But yeah, this brush is magic. It is currently sold out on the Beautylish website. But if you missed out on this launch from Sonia G, and as soon as this becomes in stock again, this brush trio, I would say, the face, I think it's a face brush trio. This one is the one brush I would recommend that you pick up because you could use it for pretty much your whole face, I feel like. I just don't because that's not who I am. Oh, but do you see that? I swear this blush is just perfection, and the fact that it launched not too long ago and it made it to the #1 spot on this list says a lot because that's out of 15 powder blushes. It came in at #1. Oh, but do you see that? So pretty. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off the rest of my face and I'll be right back. All right, my lovelies, let me tell you what else I have on my face. For highlighter, I went into the new Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette, Celestial Glow. I started with the coral orange shade and then I added just a tiny bit of this one. This is a pretty natural kind of highlighter, and I mean very natural, sinks right into the skin. So I just felt like maybe I wanted a tiny bit more and used the blush topper. So pretty. See how it's like very natural and subtle? That's mostly the coral shade. For eyebrows, I have on the Charlotte Tilbury brow pencil, and I went in to the Got To Be brow gel mascara, the Lancome and What's Up Beauty. And then for the lips, I have on the new Refi Blur lip liner in shade Umber, and the lipstick from Merit Beauty, the matte one. Sunday, I think is the shade, and that's everything else that I have on my face that you didn't see me apply. Do you see how beautiful my cheeks look? Don't they just look very soft? I'm telling you, that cream to powder formula, wowza, it's so good. All right, my lovelies, I hope you enjoyed this ranking video of all the blushes I tried out in 2024 part 2, which is the powder blushes. I have not bought any blushes as of right now. And the plan is not to until the Sephora sale. So I need you all to help me out and tell me I don't need any more blushes. I'm asking you all to hold me accountable. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I love every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly all does mean the world to me. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you all on my next video. Bye.